Lately, crossover SUVs have become the secret escape from the minivan rut these days, providing a good measure of capability in all categories. They're great for family vacations, carpools, and transporting the kids, while also being way more comfortable and fuel efficient than traditional truck-based SUVs. The Mitsubishi Outlander is no newcomer to this segment, and the 2015 model benefits from a redesign that occurred just last year. The problem with this Mitsubishi, however, is that it doesn't really excite or excel in any particular category. So, let's go ahead and check out this 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander GT. Now, as far as styling goes on the vehicle, I think it's much less daring than the previous generation Outlander, and I also think that the Outlander Sport, which is the smaller version, is a little bit more aggressive looking than this one. They really did, when they introduced this generation, they definitely made it much more conservative looking. But you do have these pretty nice looking 18-inch alloy wheels, which do give it a more unique flavor. Does spicing up the visual appeal just a little bit. Now, it's also in this pretty good looking diamond white pearl exterior color, and I think this is probably one of the best colors for the Outlander, either this one or in its silver, which looks pretty good. Now, coming to the key fob design here, just looks like a regular old smart key here, nothing too snazzy, but you do have your lock, unlock, and then your power tailgate, and then your panic button, and then your Mitsubishi logo on the back right here. Now, you do have smart key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door, and you do have a full-on black leather interior, power driver's seat with power recline. Now, stepping on into the vehicle here, step-in height is fairly low. It's a crossover here, they have to keep it that way. But you're greeted with a pretty high quality looking cabin design here. It's fairly luxurious. Now, you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing is a 3-liter V6. Leather wrapped steering wheel. Now, since we have the V6 powertrain, we do get a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, when you get the 4-cylinder powertrain, which is the base powertrain, you actually do get a CVT. But you do have lower gear selection and then paddle shifters for the manual shiftability. Putting the vehicle into reverse also displays your rear view camera with guidance lines. And your e-brake is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window in the Outlander. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. High intensity discharge headlights with your halogen fog lights. I wish it did have some LEDs to make it look a little bit more premium. However, it looks okay in my opinion. Now, under the hood here, you have a 3-liter V6 producing a okay 224 horses at 6250 RPM and 215 pound-feet of torque. And it does come equipped with all-wheel drive, with EPA estimates being an okay 20 in the city and 28 on the highway. Now, you get this V6 powertrain when you get the GT model. Now, your base powertrain is going to be a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder that comes equipped, like I said earlier in the video, with a CVT automatic versus the 6-speed we have here. Now, it does have pretty underwhelming performance, I have to say, compared to some of its competitors that do offer more acceleration, or better acceleration, and more torque as well. But if I was to go with the Outlander, I would step up to this V6 powertrain. But at least it does have above average fuel economy numbers here, even with this all-wheel drive model. Now probably the closest competitor of the Outlander is the Kia Sorento. Now you also do have other large crossover SUVs, including the Chevrolet Traverse, Ford Explorer, the Honda Pilot, as well as the Toyota Highlander. Now trims of the Outlander start at the ES model, which starts at $23,195. Then you have the SE, which starts at $24,195. And then you have the top of the line GT model, which starts at $28,195. Coming to the rear, you have LED tail lamps, rear window wiper with a rear window defroster, rear reflectors too. Overall, it's a pretty distinctive looking design on the rear. You can easily tell it's a Japanese vehicle by the way the taillight designs are. Now, total vehicle price for this particular one is $34,915. And then EPA estimates are at 20 in the city and 28 on the highway. Of course, you have your basic power necessities: power windows, door locks, power mirrors, soft touch armrests with premium stitching, and chrome door handles. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of this vehicle here, build quality is pretty good. You won't find that many panel gaps inside of this vehicle here, and then everything fits well together, which is the most important part. Now, materials are also pretty excellent. You have nice soft touch materials up here, and then up on the armrest and mid-door panel, and then also up on the dashboard too. Overall, it's a pretty solid feeling vehicle inside of here, and I'm pretty impressed that Mitsubishi pulled this off. Now, coming up here, you have your manual dimming rearview mirror, your sunroof with your sunroof controls, and then right here you will find your heated seats, and then your differential locking, and then also your different driver selectable modes. You have a eco mode, and then a normal mode, and then your snow mode, and then your differential locking. And then coming down to your center console here, you have a 12-volt power outlet down there, and then a USB port. Armrest is pretty hard. It looks like it's soft to the touch, but it's a really hard feeling armrest, I have to say. Coming down here, you have your cup holders, then your power tailgate if you want to activate that or not, then the 12-volt power outlet down there. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, I think this is a pretty basic looking steering wheel design. I think they need to spice this up just a little bit more, add some more pizzazz to it. But over here you have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, voice recognition and Bluetooth phone controls, of course, and your cruise control buttons right there. And then you also do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. It has a decent range of adjustment. Now, coming to your center stack controls, it's pretty easy to figure out and pretty simple to use, I have to say. It's really clean looking, and I like that. You have dual zone automatic climate control, and then here's your fan speeds, your different zones, and then your temperatures too. Very easy to figure out. And then right here you have your eco mode for saving fuel. which does change the throttle response just a little bit. Now let's get to the main head unit here. This is actually probably the worst thing about this whole entire interior. And while the head unit has pretty good responsiveness, it's just the rendering and the graphics are just very poorly executed here. And it looks like it came straight out of what you would find in the late or mid 2000s. Now coming to your menu button here, you have, this reveals all of your different sources. You have your AM, FM, Sirius satellite radio, CD player, optical disc drive, USB, iPod integration, and then Bluetooth streaming audio. And then you have your voice recognition button right there. Clicking over to next, this reveals your phone and then your settings, which you can change many different settings like the color and the contrast and the sound control, and then your Bluetooth settings, many different settings. And then coming to your phone, you can dial a number here. But I guess the most important part is that the responsiveness of the touchscreen is really good, and then also it's pretty user friendly, I have to say. It's just that I just wish they would make it a little bit more modern looking. That's my biggest complaint here. But it's a good infotainment system to live with on a day-to-day basis. Now you also do have a premium audio sound system here. It's called the Rockford audio sound system. It sounds okay, but I have heard better sounding systems. Now coming to your gauges, I actually really do love these gauges, and then the little TFT instrument cluster there. And then basically right in that center screen there, it's going to basically show you your fuel range, your fuel gauge, and then also your average speed, and then your average fuel economy as well. And then also some warning lights, and then what driver mode you're in. And the gauges are nice and crisp and clear. Love the font to them too. Nice bold looking font. And then coming to this button right here, this also controls it. Shows you all your warning lights, and then you have your trip odometer too. Pretty neat. And then right here you have your adjustable headlights, and then your traction control off button. And then this little switch right here is for your power tailgate. Now as far as visibility goes inside of this vehicle here, it's okay. There's a decent amount of glass area on the front windows. A-pillar is kind of thick, I have to say. Outward visibility can be a little bit better, and then the rearward visibility also can be a little bit better too. But it's not too shabby. It's just, you know, average. Now along the highway, the 2015 Outlander is definitely comfortable, but there's a bit of wind and engine noise to deal with. Handling around turns is secure, steering feels natural, and offers intuitive response, but overall, the latest Outlander isn't quite as sporty as its predecessors. If off-pavement driving is a priority, like I said earlier in the video, the all-wheel drive system is probably the best part. And let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle, including the cargo capacity and the rear seat leg space. Now like I said, you do have a power tailgate. You have a cargo net back here. Now cargo capacity isn't as great as the Chevrolet Traverse or Ford Explorer, but this car is more competing with the Kia Sorento here. It's kind of in between a compact crossover and a large crossover, which is like the Kia Sorento. But these rear seats do fold flat to maximize cargo space. But the maximum cargo capacity just isn't as good as some rivals. Now build quality and materials do follow through in the rear for the most part, so nice soft to the touch on the armrest, mid door panel. However, upper door panel does get cheap, and you still have chrome door handles back here. Now sitting back here, it is fairly comfortable for the most part. Now you do have dual map pockets back here, and then there's a decent amount of legroom back here, and I have the driving position to where I would sit at, and I'm about 5'11", and I have enough room to spare. Now you do have a rear center armrest back here with cup holders. But however, my biggest complaint is not the rear seat legroom or the headroom, it's actually the thigh support. Thigh support can be a lot better, as I am lacking quite a lot of it. Headroom is actually okay. Alrighty. Full manual passenger seat. Your glove box compartment. Alrighty. So while a number of attractive features make the 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander worth a look, it doesn't stand out in a crowd of very competitive rivals. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.